I got canceled for something I didn't do, and the real culprit let me take the fall. This all happened a few months ago, and I'm still recovering from it, but I need to get it off my chest because holy shot, I would not wish this on my worst enemy. I woke up one morning to my phone absolutely blowing up. Like, hundreds of notifications, missed calls, and my name trending. My stomach immediately dropped because I had no idea what was going on. I start scrolling, trying to figure out why people are suddenly acting like I murdered a puppy, and then I see it, a screenshot. Allegedly from me, a DM where I supposedly said some horrible, disgusting stuff. I'm talking next level, career ending, this person should never show their face again type of shot. And the worst part, I didn't say it. But it didn't matter. The internet had already decided I was guilty. People were coming out of the woodwork to bash me. I lost brand deals. Friends stopped responding. I was getting death threats. I tried to defend myself, but let's be real. The internet doesn't care about waiting for the full story. They saw a screenshot, decided I was the villain, and that was it. But then, I see Jordan's name in the replies, and that's when Shasterisk T really hit the fan. Jordan was someone I considered a close friend. Like, we hung out all the time, they had access to my accounts, my Netflix password, even crashed on my couch a few times. And instead of defending me, they tweeted, "Wow, I can't believe I was ever friends with someone like this. So disappointed." I literally felt like I was going to throw up. That's when everything started clicking. Jordan had access to my stuff. Jordan knew my passwords. Jordan was literally on my laptop a week ago. So I started digging, checking login records, timestamps, anything that could prove I didn't send that message. And then, I found it. A login from an IP address that wasn't mine. And guess who it belonged to? Jordan set me up. I don't know if it was for clout, revenge, or just for fun, but they let me take the fall while they sat back and watched the internet destroy me. And I was supposed to just take it, fact. That, I spent the next few hours putting together every receipt I had. Screenshots, logs, even a voice memo Jordan accidentally sent me where they literally admitted to wanting to see what would happen. Then, I posted it, and suddenly my notifications were blowing up again. But this time, people were realizing the truth. Wait, Jordan did this. Bro, they really let you take the fall? Nah, we need to talk about this. Jordan's name started trending. People started digging into them, and when they realized Jordan had deleted their account, oh, it was over. Then Jordan called me, crying, saying it was just a joke that got out of hand, that they didn't think it would go this far. I just sat there, listening, and finally said, "You threw me to the wolves, watched me get eaten alive. For what? Clout?" They had nothing to say, because what could they say? I won't lie. Some damage was permanent. There are still people who think I'm guilty, just because they saw the first wave of accusations and never checked for updates. But the truth, it's out there now. And if I learned anything from this, the internet loves a villain, until they realize they were rooting for the wrong one. A joke I made years ago resurfaced, and now my job and marriage are on the line. I swear to God, I went to bed with a normal life and woke up to my entire world collapsing. 1 minute, I'm just a regular guy, steady job, happy marriage, no major drama. The next, my phone is blowing up. Notifications going insane, missed calls from my boss, texts from people I haven't talked to in years, and the absolute worst one, a message from my wife, "We need to talk." At that moment, my stomach drops. What the hell is going on? I check my phone, and that's when I see it, a screenshot of a tweet. And not just any tweet, my tweet, from over 10 years ago. And it looks bad, like career ending, marriage destroying, people canceling their subscriptions to my existence bad. I barely even remember posting it. I was in my early 20s, just some dumb kid making jokes online, trying to be edgy and funny, but taken completely out of context. Holy shot, it looks like I'm the worst person alive. And the internet? Oh, they had already decided that I was guilty. I start scrolling through the replies, and it's like watching my own public execution. People are calling me a disgusting human being, saying I deserve to be fired, that my wife should leave me, that I should never be allowed to work again, and then I see my real name trending. That's when the real panic kicks in. This isn't just an internet thing. This is real life. My boss is seeing this. My family is seeing this. My wife is seeing this. And before I can even process it, my phone starts ringing. The second I answer, my boss gets straight to it. "So, we've been made aware of some things." That's when I know. I'm fecked. I try to explain. It was a joke. A bad joke. A decade ago. I don't even think that way. But it's obvious they don't care. HR is already involved. Clients are pulling out. The company's PR team is in full damage control mode. And then they hit me with the "we're going to have to suspend you while we conduct a review." Translation: start packing your desk, buddy. I hang up, completely numb. This is my job, my entire career, and I might lose it over some stupid joke I made when I was barely out of college. But before I can even process that, my phone buzzes again. I get home, and my wife is already sitting at the kitchen table, arms crossed, looking at me like I'm a stranger. I sit down, and the first thing she says is, "Did you really say that?" I try to explain. Yes, but it was a joke. It was years ago. I don't even think like that anymore. But I can see it in her eyes. Doubt. Like she's wondering if she's been married to a secret piece of shot this whole time. She tells me she's getting texts from her friends, her family, asking if she knew about this, that she's embarrassed, that she needs time to think. And just like that, she packs a bag and leaves. I don't even try to stop her. Because honestly, I don't even feel like I deserve to. Meanwhile, online, it's getting worse. People are digging, finding old posts, old photos, twisting everything. Stuff that was completely normal at the time is now being used as evidence that I'm some kind of irredeemable monster. And then, someone finds my address and posts it. That's when the real fear kicks in. Because now, I'm getting messages saying "watch your back," saying "I hope you and your family suffer." Someone even sends me a picture of my own house. I feel like I'm in a horror movie. I can't sleep, can't eat, can't even go outside without wondering if someone is watching me. And the worst part, I can't even defend myself. Because no matter what I say, the internet has already decided I'm guilty. At this point, I have nothing left to lose. So I start reaching out to old friends, people who knew me back then, who can vouch for the fact that I wasn't some horrible person. A few actually step up, posting that they remember the joke, that it was just stupid humor from a different time, that I've never been that kind of person. But guess what? The internet doesn't care. People say I'm just getting my friends to cover for me, that it's damage control, that I'm only sorry because I got caught. It's like no amount of truth matters. People want me to be the villain. They want someone to burn. So here's where things stand. My job? Still suspended. I'm pretty sure I'm getting fired. My wife? Still at her sister's. Says she's thinking about things. My mental state? Absolutely wrecked. I have no idea if I'll ever recover from this. And the worst part, I don't even recognize my own life anymore. I used to think cancel culture was just an internet thing, that it only happened to celebrities. But no, it can happen to anyone. One bad joke, one dumb post from years ago, and suddenly, your entire existence is up for debate. And if there's one thing I've learned, the internet never forgets, and it sure as hell doesn't forgive. My best friend exposed my problematics past online for clout. I swear, I've never felt betrayal like this in my entire life. Imagine trusting someone with everything, your secrets, your worst moments, your past mistakes. Now imagine waking up one day and realizing that same person, the one you called your best friend, just sold you out to the internet like some kind of clout-chasing journalist. That's exactly what happened to me. And the worst part, they did it for nothing. No moral stance, no genuine reason, just for likes, for attention, for a few extra followers. But let me start from the beginning. I've known Jordan for over a decade. We met in high school, survived college together, and even after growing up and getting actual adult responsibilities, we stayed close. They were my ride or die. The person I'd call at 3 a.m. with some deep, dumb thought. The one who knew everything about me because I thought I could trust them. And I'll be the first to admit, I wasn't always perfect. Who was? Back in high school, I used to make dumb jokes. I laughed at edgy humor. The kind of shot that back then people would roll their eyes at, but now, instant cancellation. It was a different time. I've grown, learned, changed. But of course none of that matters when people want to destroy you. And Jordan, they knew all of it. Not because they were some kind of victim, but because we were both like that. We both laughed at the same jokes. We were in the same group chats. They were right there beside me, making the same edgy comments, playing along, having fun. So why, out of nowhere, did Jordan decide to go full investigative journalist on me? It started with a notification. My name, being tagged in a post. At first, I thought it was nothing, maybe just a meme. But then I saw the caption. It's time we talk about problematic people who refuse to take accountability. #exposed. And then, a thread. A long thread. About me. Screenshots of old messages, some from over 10 years ago. Jokes I don't even remember making. Things ripped out of context. Conversations that Jordan was literally a part of, but in their post. Oh no, they were acting like some kind of innocent bystander. Like they had been quietly watching me be a terrible person this whole time. Like they were some kind of victim. I could feel my heart pounding. This couldn't be real. I thought it was a joke at first, maybe some weird prank, but as I kept scrolling, I realized they were serious. And the replies, they were eating it up. The response was instant. People piling on, calling me disgusting, saying I should be fired, saying my friends should cut me off. They were calling my past a pattern of behavior, talking about how I'd always been this way, even though most of them had never met me. And Jordan, they were loving it. Replying to comments, agreeing with strangers who said I was a horrible person, acting like they had been waiting for this moment. And the worst part? People believed them. I saw messages from actual friends, people I trusted, saying things like, "Wow, I had no idea they were like this." Some of them started unfollowing me. Others just sent messages like, "I hope you take accountability." Accountability for what? For being a dumb teenager? For making jokes that everyone around me was making too? For changing and growing like a normal person? It didn't matter. The mob had made up their minds. The first real consequence? My job found out. Someone DM'd my boss, sending them the thread. I got called into a meeting where they hit me with the "We take these matters very seriously" speech. They put me on leave while they investigate. Translation: I was probably FC'm fired. Then came the death threats. Someone found an old post where I mentioned my city, and suddenly I was getting messages like, "Hope you get what's coming to you." One person sent me a picture of my apartment building. I felt like I was going to throw up. And then, my girlfriend saw it. I tried to get ahead of it. I called her, explained everything, told her it was all out of context, that Jordan was twisting things, that it was years ago. I was hoping, praying that she'd understand. But when I showed up at her place, she wouldn't even look at me. I don't know who you really are," she said. That hit harder than anything else. She told me she needed time, that she didn't know if she could be with someone who had that kind of past. That kind of past. As if I was some criminal, and just like that, she was gone. I finally snapped. I texted Jordan, "What the FCA is wrong with you? Why are you doing this?" They took hours to reply, and when they did, I just think people should be held accountable. It's nothing personal. Nothing personal. Are you kidding me? You just torched my entire life for a couple hundred likes, and it's not personal? I called them, they didn't pick up, they had completely ghosted me. And you know what the real kicker was? Someone sent me a screenshot. Jordan had gained 10,000 followers overnight. So here's where things stand. My job? Probably gone. My girlfriend? Left me. My reputation? Completely destroyed. Jordan? Now some kind of internet hero for taking me down. And for what? A couple viral tweets? A temporary ego boost? I keep thinking about how Jordan and I used to laugh at cancel culture. We used to joke about how ridiculous it was. How people would weaponize old posts just to ruin lives. And then they did it to me, not because they actually cared, not because they were offended, just because it was their chance to go viral. If I learned one thing from this, no one is really your friend when there's clout on the line. My entire town turned against me because of a viral post taken out of context. I swear I'm living in a fish-shaking nightmare. A week ago, I was just a normal guy in a small town where everyone knew everyone. My life was boring in the best way. I had a decent job, good friends, and I could walk down the street without feeling like I was being hunted. But now I can't even go to the grocery store without people whispering. I see neighbors I've known for years crossing the street to avoid me. I'm getting death threats from people I went to high school with. And the worst part? I didn't even do anything. It all started with a single post. A screenshot of something I said taken completely out of context, twisted into something it was never meant to be. And before I even had a chance to explain, before anyone even bothered to ask me what really happened, my entire town had already decided I was a monster. It started on a random Wednesday. I woke up like any other day, scrolled through my phone, got ready for work. Everything was normal. Until I noticed my notifications were insane. At first I thought my phone was glitching. Then I saw the messages. Wow, dude. Never knew you were like this. Unbelievable. You should be ashamed. You just ruined your entire life. Good luck fixing this. My heart dropped. I had no idea what anyone was talking about. Then I saw the post. Someone had taken a screenshot of a comment I made in a private group chat. A joke. A stupid, sarcastic, obviously over-the-top joke. But the way they cropped it, it looked horrible. It looked like I was saying something dead serious, and something that if I had actually meant it would have been beyond messed up. And the worst part? No one cared about the truth. By the time I realized what was happening, it was already too late. The post had been shared hundreds of times, then thousands. People I barely knew, people I had one conversation with in my entire life, were calling me out, saying they'd always had a bad feeling about me. I checked the comments praying anyone would say, hey, maybe we should hear his side of the story. Nope, every comment was either someone calling me a piece of shit or someone trying to one-up the last person with an even angrier comment. The outrage was spreading like wildfire. And it wasn't just online. People started calling my job. They started messaging my family. And then, they started showing up. In real life. That same night I went to grab food from a gas station, and the cashier, a guy I'd talked to almost every day for the past 3 years, wouldn't even look at me. I tried to make small talk. He just ignored me. I walked outside and I swear to God, I felt like everyone was staring. Like I had a giant scarlet letter burned into my forehead. By the next morning, my job put me on leave. My boss said they were investigating the situation. I asked him if he even knew what the post was about. If he had even bothered to hear my side. He wouldn't answer. Then the messages got worse. Someone sent me my home address. Someone else sent a message saying, you better not show your face around here again. A guy I played on the same Little League team with sent me a voice memo saying he was going to FCK me up if he ever saw me in town. This wasn't just online harassment anymore. People in my own town wanted me gone. At this point, I knew I had to do something. I made a post trying to explain, telling people that the screenshot was out of context, that it was a joke, that I would never, in a million years, say something like that and actually mean it. And you know what happened? It got worse. People started saying I was just making excuses, that I was gaslighting the town, that I wasn't really sorry. But here's the thing. I wasn't sorry, because I didn't actually FC King do anything. But that didn't matter. Because once the internet labels you as the villain, there is nothing you can say to change their minds. After my job put me on leave, my landlord, who I had never had an issue with before, sent me an email saying he wasn't sure this was the kind of reputation he wanted associated with his property. Translation? I was about to get kicked out of my own FC King home. My best friend, my literal best friend since middle school, told me he needed some space, that he didn't want to get dragged into anything. Dragged into what? Even my own family started acting weird. My aunt called my mom and asked if she was worried about me. My uncle, who I used to drink beers with every Sunday, unfriended me. I was losing my entire life over a single FC King post. I finally found out who posted the screenshot in the first place. It was someone I barely knew. Some random guy who was in the same group chat but who I hadn't spoken to in years. And when I messaged him, practically begging him to delete the post, do you know what he said? Sorry man, should have thought about that before saying something so fault-sect up. Excuse me? He knew it was a joke. He knew it was out of context. He knew I wasn't actually a horrible person. But he didn't care. Because in his mind, he wasn't just some random guy anymore. He was now the guy who exposed someone. He was getting likes, shares. People were calling him brave. He was getting FC King clout off of ruining my life. And there was nothing I could do about it. So here's my reality. My job? Gone. I was officially fired yesterday. My home? Probably gone soon too. My landlord is reviewing my lease. My social life? Completely FC King dead. My mental state? The worst it's ever been. I've thought about leaving town. About just packing my shot and disappearing. But the worst part? I don't even know if that would help. Because this isn't just a small town thing. This is the internet. And once the internet decides you're a villain, there's no coming back. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't know if I'll ever get my life back. I don't know if people will ever stop seeing me as the person they think I am, instead of the person I actually am. But if I learned one thing from this, it only takes one post to destroy your entire life. A celebrity mistakenly called me out, and now millions of people think I'm a monster. I woke up to millions of people hating me. 1 minute, I was just a regular person, working my job, minding my business, living a life where I could go outside without someone wishing me dead. And then, overnight, I became the internet's most hated person. Strangers were sending me death threats. My name was trending, my family was getting harassed, my job, gone. My friends, silent. And the worst part, I didn't even do anything. It all started with a single tweet from a massive celebrity. Someone so famous that when they talk, the world listens. And unfortunately for me, they were talking about me. I was half asleep when my phone started vibrating non-stop. I ignored it at first, thinking it was just some spam or a group chat blowing up. But then I saw my notifications. Hundreds, no thousands. People tagging me, messaging me, flooding my DMs with the most vile shot I've ever seen. At first I thought it was a mistake. Then I saw the tweet. A celebrity with tens of millions of followers had directly called me out. My username was right there. My profile screenshot. And next to it, a message that made my stomach drop. Absolutely disgusting. People like this don't deserve a platform. We need to make sure they never come back from this. There was no context, no explanation, just a target painted on my back for millions of people to see. I had no idea what the FCK was going on. Within minutes, people were digging up everything about me. Old posts, comments I had made years ago, pictures from high school, anything they could use to make me look worse. It didn't even matter if it was completely innocent. They took jokes out of context, twisted normal conversations into proof that I was the worst human alive. I tried to scroll through the replies, trying to understand why this was happening to me. And then I saw the post that started it all, a fake screenshot. Someone had edited a post to make it look like I had said something awful, something I would never in a million years say. And this celebrity saw it, didn't fact check, and just ran with it. And now, millions of people believed I was a monster. My first instinct was to explain, to tell people, this isn't real. I never said this. Biggest, FC King. Mistake, because the internet doesn't care about the truth. The second I tried to defend myself, people just called me a liar. They said I was just backpedaling, because I got caught, that I was playing the victim. I was the FCK&G victim. But that didn't matter, because when the internet decides you're guilty, there is no way to prove your innocence. First, my job. I got a call from my boss within hours. The company was getting emails, tweets, phone calls, all demanding that they fire me immediately. I tried to explain. I even sent proof that the screenshot was fake. Didn't matter. We have to protect our brand. Translation, pack your shot and get the FCK out. Then my friends started ghosting me. People I had known for years suddenly didn't want to be associated with me. Even the ones who knew the screenshot was fake wouldn't speak up. I don't want to get dragged into this. Even my own family was getting messages. My little sister called me crying because her classmates were sending her my cancellation tweets. My mom begged me to just apologize, to say whatever they wanted to hear so this would all go away. But I couldn't, because what the FCK was I supposed to apologize for? Being falsely accused? By day 2, I was afraid to leave my house. People had found my address, my phone number. They were calling me at all hours of the night, leaving messages saying they were going to teach me a lesson. Someone sent me a picture of my front door. I was FC King terrified. At one point, I saw a black car parked outside my apartment, just sitting there. No one got out, no one rang my doorbell. They just sat there, watching. I called the police. You know what they told me? Unless someone actually does something, there's not much we can do. So I was just supposed to sit in my apartment and wait for some psychopath to come after me? At this point, I was desperate. I messaged the celebrity. I emailed them. I commented on their posts. I even tried to get mutuals to reach out. Silence. Then finally, on day 3, they tweeted again. I've been informed that the original screenshot might not be real. Regardless, I stand by what I said. Even if they didn't say that, they've probably said other bad things. I won't be addressing this further. Are you FCK&G kidding me? They basically admitted they were wrong, but instead of apologizing, they just moved on. Like my life wasn't completely destroyed because of their mistake. And the internet, they just shrugged it off. A few people admitted, yeah, maybe we rushed to judge them. But the damage was already done. I was still unemployed, still being harassed, still getting threats daily. And that celebrity, they just went back to posting selfies and brand deals like nothing happened. Here's my life now. My job. Gone. No one wants to hire me because I'm too controversial. My reputation? Completely FCK'd. Some people still think I actually said the fake quote. My mental health? Absolutely destroyed. I can't even go outside without wondering if someone recognizes me. The celebrity who did this to me, still thriving, still making millions, never faced a single consequence. I wish I could say there was some happy ending to this, that I proved my innocence and got my life back, but no, because once the internet labels you a monster, you don't get to come back, and all it takes, one viral post, one mistake, one famous person pointing at you and saying go get them, and just like that, your life is over.